So have you filled up the attendance form?
Yes, madam.
Okay, very good.
I'm doing that.
Okay. Okay, done?
Yes, madam.
Okay, done, yeah? Okay, so I just switch off my video. Is it okay? Because I think the lighting is not so good in my side. I switch on the light, but the light is just at my my head now. It's quite dark, so I just turn off the video, yeah. Okay, let's start our class today with Surah Al-Fatihah. To get blessed from Allah. Okay, before we start our new topic today, do you have any questions regarding the last topic we discussed on the zakat and tax planning? Any question? No question. Have you paid your zakat this year?
Yes, madam.
Okay, Alhamdulillah.
Madam?
So when usually you pay zakat? Zakat for your wealth, total wealth, your savings, your incomes, or any other growth in your wealth. When basically?
Usually at the end of the year.
At the end of the year? Oh?
For for income, I usually pay via salary deduction.
Okay.
Monthly salary deduction, yeah.
Okay, with your company lah. With the
Yeah.
company. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, what others?
Madam, sorry.
When basically you pay zakat?
No, I mean, like, I want to ask something, like, concerning, like, for salary payment, like, deduction from salary. Why we deduct from salary? And we know that salary is, like, monthly.
Oh,
I don't know why, because it should be year, like, you have to keep your wealth, like, within 1 year. So why? Yeah.
Oh, basically it basically to reduce a burden when it comes to end of year, we doesn't need to pay lump sums for the amounts. So that when we ask assistance from the zakat officer to calculate zakat for us, so they will ask us how much monthly salary that we receive, and then how much, and then they will times with a year. So that they will basically divide by month. So monthly we pay portions of the zakat. So at the end of the year, so no need to pay a lump sum with a big amount. So it reduce burden at the end of the year. But the total is the same for the whole year total. Okay? You get it, brother?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, that one is easy to calculate because we receive a fixed monthly salary. If we have increments, if we have increment, then we need to inform the zakat officer maybe in December at end of year, we inform them that we have additional salary. So they will calculate again. Okay, and then deduct all the zakat that we have paid throughout the year. Okay, macam tak best is. Let me just turn
Hello, madam.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, brother Ibrahim.
Yeah, for the zakat payment, in which year we should consider like the Gregorian year or the lunar year?
Oh, we basically the currently is January lah, the lunar year, isn't it?
January is supposed to be the lunar year.
Okay.
Why we don't follow our calendar as a Muslim?
No harm to follow. No harm to follow any of the calendar. As long as we pay with 1 year enough, the haul. The period of payment, zakat payment is 1 year. As long as it is 1 year, so should be okay.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to start with Muharram, so next Muharram, then we should pay the zakat. As long as it is achieve the haul, then okay. Because nobody will monitor us to pay the zakat like a tax. Tax, the authority will basically monitor, and they have a record on tax payment and all the tax deductions, all details on our income, they have that record. But for the zakat, nobody record it for us. It depends on us whether we want to pay and when we want to pay.
Okay.
Okay?
So that's the meaning. Like, if I decided to pay zakat for next year, and like I will start for this month. This month is November. I will say maybe next November, 2021. I will start paying my zakat. Is like that?
Yes. The authority, like here in Malaysia, we have the Islamic Religious Council, the authority that become a amil, that manager of the zakat funds. They will they don't have any details on us, so they just accept any zakat that we want to pay, and they manage it and distribute to the zakat recipient.
Okay. Thank
So
you,
they will not ask or force us to pay zakat.
yeah. It's depend on our intention.
Yes. So to be safe, we should have a record of zakat payment like a tax payment. Why not?
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's to safeguard our security, to safeguard our basically in the hereafter later on ourselves.
Thank you, madam.
We should have that. Okay, but very rare for people to have a record for zakat, like a record for tax. Okay, to have a better record and filing for zakat. Okay, basically zakat will be the second choice, because nobody will push us to pay it. Okay, it is voluntarily. Even though it is voluntarily, it is obligations for the Muslims. That is very dangerous. Okay, like a pray, isn't it? Is anybody monitor our pray? No, kan? Okay, but it is not voluntary. The pray is not voluntary, it is obligations. Because of no monitor, even we have Allah give us a zakat, Allah give us the angels, angels Rakib and Atid, that record all our good deeds and bad deeds of us. So but because we cannot see them, that is why we do not realize, we do not aware about the calculations of all the good deeds, all the obligations that we should perform, and we should perform as a Muslim. That the dangerous part. And in the hereafter, we will be questions, and everything will be recalled, and then calculated, and then we can see where is our place then, isn't it?
Okay, doctor.
Okay.
Like, what is the main purpose of zakat? Like, it's to help like poor people, right? The main
Yes.
purpose. Okay. So when also government collects money, it for what? It to help like the population, right? It's a part of the duty. Okay. So if like we like a Muslim, we pay already zakat. Zakat, we know Allah forced us to pay it because He want to help poor people, right? So
Yes.
if the government they need also to help population, why they don't consider like our payment? Then they will say that okay, because in Malaysia you have strong zakat institution, so that means you can get you can easily collect money. So if you can collect money, why you Muslim you will pay there, and also you will have a same rate of tax to pay also in the like for government. That's why I don't understand it well. For me, if you have a strong institution like for zakat and you pay already zakat, they should take it as like your tax also and reduce the tax like tax rate. You get my point?
Yeah. Okay, so basically the purpose of zakat to help the zakat, the needy, which are the zakat recipients stated in the Al-Quran, and the purpose of tax also basically for the country. So I think different objective, tax for the country, for the well-being of the country, the economic activity, the facilities, and then all the needs of the citizen itself. Okay, so the government collect tax, okay, to pay all the expenses for the country. So whereby the zakat, the purpose is to give to assist the needy who are specified in the Al-Quran. So text, no specifications, no specific recipients, the authority will determine it. Okay, and then for the country that have, I think there are few countries that consider the Muslims when they pay zakat, the zakat amount can be deducted before the tax is imposed. So it reduce the tax lah. So the tax calculations will be considered zakat also. Okay, no separate zakat and tax. Zakat is considered is deductible payment in tax calculation in Malaysia lah especially. Okay, so the objective for these two are different. Okay. Do I answer your question?
Yes, but I don't think we have to consider also the rate. Because when at the end when we calculate, we found that we pay more. So for me,
not necessarily.
Yeah, because I try. Yeah, I try with other example. So and at the end I always the amount is higher than non-Muslim.
Okay, do you know the secrets or the tips to pay tax to reduce your tax payment? You know the secret?
That to increase.
Do you know
your
the
cost,
tips?
increase
Do
your
you want
cost.
to know the tips? Basically, to increase your zakat payment. When you increase your zakat payment, your tax will be reduced.
But you cannot increase it because it already we have 2.5.
No, it is minimum. Minimum rate for zakat is 2.5%, but no
Really?
maximum.
Really?
Yes. Yes, we can pay more than that.
Okay.
100% then we can pay like Abu Bakar. Okay, like I like Osman. Usually they basically they give all their wealth for Islam, isn't it? All 100%.
Okay. That means
Okay,
it's here. It's allowed to do that.
yes. Provided that when we pay huge amounts of zakat, it will not affect our life, our wealth. We can still live in this world lah. Okay, based on our capacity. Okay, so the tips to reduce a tax payment. So you need to increase your zakat payment. So that will be counted in tax calculations. So you can reduce the tax. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. If like the rate can be higher than
Yeah.
2.5%, okay.
Yeah. Even the zakat officer count for your salary is 1,000 zakat for the whole year, you can pay 10,000. Be for the sake of Allah, not for the sake of for tax reduction. It is two in one. Two in one. You can reduce and also you can get more reward from Allah, but based on your intention. Okay,
Okay.
refer back to the intentions should be for the sake of Allah. You will get two. Okay, that is why I think in one hadith about the intention, Allah said, if your intention is for the sake of worldly matters, you only can get the worldly matters. If you set intentions to get for the sake of Allah and Rasulullah, you will get both. Okay, the akhirah and also in this world. Two in one. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Okay, let's continue our topic. I have a heavy raining outside. Okay,
It's raining
let's,
also here.
yeah,
Yeah, at here.
anyone? Ada. Can you hear the rain outside in my place?
No, madam.
Tak ada, okay, clear. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, let's continue. We want to discuss about the Sharia estate planning. It's quite different with the conventional estate planning, but we want to know what is estate planning actually. Okay, what is estate planning? It is a part of the financial planning. Okay, a part of we plan for our saving, for our incomes, investment and risk protections, zakat and tax planning. We should also think about what will happen to our wealth that we have accumulated, okay, once we die. Okay, so estate planning is basically related to wealth plannings after we die. So what happens to the wealth? Okay, so according to this, I think the report here, 85% of the local Muslim populations have not done any estate planning. I think it is true. Because based on my observations, it's very rare for the people discuss and um, talk about estate planning, talk about hibah, talk about faraid, because they just think they do not think their future life. They do not think when what will happen to their family, to their wealth when they are no longer in this world. Okay, because they're still alive. Okay. But when the times comes, in the times of Maradul Maut, maybe they will think, or when they are sick, they diagnosed with certain illnesses, they start to think, okay, what happened when I die? Okay, so and then because of lack of awareness, the campaigns also very lack of limited campaign done and lack of awareness because all people think people just think that they are still in healthy conditions, everything will be okay. Okay, so they are not aware that they will die one day. So this one in the report by the Ministry of Natural Resource and Environment, the estimated RM 60 billion worth of unclaimed asset. So because of no proper estate plannings, there will be issue of unclaimed assets. Okay, happen. This one recent report of 60 billion worth of unclaimed asset because the asset is having problem to be distributed. Okay, no wasiat, okay, no the family member do not know about the asset, about the wealth that their father, for example, their father have. Okay, because no wasiah is left. No plan for the distributions of assets. Okay, and then the families can only claim the land after obtaining the latest of administration. So they have to, when they want to claim this asset, they have to make application, they have to prove that they have relationships, and then they have so many complicated procedure which take a longer time. Okay, when we compare, if ones have prepared everything, have planned their estate planning, that much be easier. Okay, so after the asset is registered for unclaimed asset, so the procedure to get or to apply for the assets very take longer time. So by having a will or trust, the issue of unclaimed asset will not arise. So these are the problem. So that is why we need to know, we need to understand, and then we need to prepare for estate plannings. Once you bought one property or you have make a savings, so you should plan what will happen when you die. Okay, because we never know when we will die, isn't it? Maybe today, after the class, or maybe tomorrow. We do not know. Okay, maybe tonight during our sleep. Okay, so what left? So if no proper planning, so not easy for our family member to apply. Okay, so and then these are the questions that may arise related to estate planning. Is it possible for a Muslim to make a will, or must he or she rely completely on the mechanics of faraid? Okay, or the law of inheritance upon his or her death? Okay, can we distribute our wealth without following the faraid law? Any answer? Hmm? Do you know that? Is it faraid law is an option for the Muslim?
No.
This is not an option. But most of people know that it is options. We don't we apa we are allowed not to follow faraid. We can distribute our wealth based on our preference. Basically, faraid law is not an option. It is compulsory for the Muslim to follow this. Okay, because Allah has specified it in the Al-Quran, the portions of distributions to whom. Okay, so faraid law is not an option. So how do you ensure that your adopted child is cared for long after you are gone? So how about the adopted children if we have? Okay, can we give them portions of our wealth? Basically, faraid law do not do not put specific portions on of our wealth for the adopted child. Okay, but there is apa nama dia? There is one option for them, not follow faraid. Okay, but we can give in terms of hibah. Hibah is only 1/3 of our wealth. We can give them in terms of hibah, not faraid, because faraid only consider the family members, the close family members. Okay. And what is the positions of a jointly acquired property during the subsistence of a valid marriage when one of the spouses dies? Harta sepencarian, jointly acquired property. So how to distribute it? Is it compulsory, or is it to follow faraid law, or which law that we need to follow? Okay. And then who has overall control over a Muslim estate? Can a convert provide for his or her non-Muslim family wealth? Can a convert provide for his give wealth, distribute wealth for his or her non-Muslim family. Basically, faraid law is only for the Muslims. How about if they have parents, non-Muslim parents? Do they have a right to receive the wealth? Okay. What is the legal and Sharia requirements for managing a deceased estate? These are among the questions that arise when we deal with apa? Estate planning. Okay, estate planning. Uh, uh, Let me just frankly speaking, I'm not the expert to answer all these questions. Okay, I'm also searching for the answer. If you have answer, then you can share here. But let discuss what I have here. So what is estate planning? Estate planning is the overall process of making decisions as to how property is to pass to others during one's lifetimes, at death or after death. Okay, we can pass our property during our when we are still alive. We can pass. No harm. Okay, we can pass. We give a charity. We give a hibah at death, and then after death sama lah. When we are no longer in this world, how to distribute it? Is it simply whatever we want? Then based on our decision, we can just distribute to whoever that we prefer. It's not easy like that. So what is estate planning? A definite plan for the administrations and dispositions of one's property during his her lifetime and at death. So when we are no longer in this world, who we want to become, who should manage our wealth or property? Is it our wife or the third party or be our teacher? Ah. And then also covers the management of personal affairs in the event of incapacity. Incapacity is considered as like near to death also because they are no longer have the ability to manage. Okay, so maybe we need to have a trustee or fund manager that manage our property. Okay, nowadays we have a third party like very formal institutions or a special company that manage the wealth. Okay, and become a trustee. When we die, so they will distribute our wealth accordingly. Okay, as a for example for the Muslim, must follow the faraid, and then let's say before the faraid is faraid is before financings, okay. So anything's all the expenses. So after that, they will distribute. Okay, there are procedures lah for them. And then estate planning is an essential part of retirement planning. When we want to plan our retirement, not only to plan for our saving, because we do not know how long we will survive after retire. For example, we retire at 55, maybe we only survive 1 year, 56. So that we need to plan also how to distribute our wealth later on. Okay, when we plan for retirement, so we should think about these two. Okay, so having two components, build your own your estate through savings, investments, and also risk. Okay, death is we plan takaful. We have a takaful planning. Takaful will cover our risk of death. Okay, which is they will give a protections to our family, death benefit. Okay, okay. So takaful is essential lah. And then transfer your estate as you wish at death. Let's say we want to give charity 1/3 of our wealth. Okay, so we plan 1/3 to whom we want to give, to which associations, okay, or whom lah. And then asset redistribution is important to take care of the family unity and the benefit. So we must plan our estate so that our family will be taken care of once we die. Okay, so uh, in the Al-Quran, okay, Allah said, Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard wa huwal aliyyul azim. Okay, to him Allah belongs all that is in the heavens and all that is in the earth, for he is the most high and most great. So from the Islamic perspective, basically everything that Allah give to us is belong to him. It is a test, only a test. He give us everything. He give us money to buy property. He give us a family too. He give us many things. But at the end of the day, when we die, everything will be returned to him back. So that is why we need to think that everything that we have now is not totally belong to us. It is temporary. So that when we die, we should give the property to the beneficiary, those who have right to receive it. Okay, that is why Allah stated in the Al-Quran, the recipients of the faraid law, because the faraid wealth. So because of the wealth is Allah's wealth, it's not ours. Okay, it's not ours. We are a trustee. We are a trustee. We are entrusted uh to feel, we are entrusted to take care of the wealth, the property that we have, the car, even though we bought that car, okay, our car, but basically the real owner of the car is Allah. Okay, without Allah's permissions, we cannot buy the car. Okay, everything is belongs to Allah. So before we die, we must prepare, we must manage how to distribute the wealth properly and fairly. Okay. So in the Al-Quran, in Surah An-Nisa, okay, basically in Surah An-Nisa talk about all about the women's, okay, about all the things that happens in family basically, including Islamic law of inheritance, okay. So faraid distributions cannot be circumvented unless all inheritors agree, and even then the consent must be after death, not before death of the testator. Okay, so law of inheritance or the faraid law is compulsory, but in case the recipients agree to redistribute it, okay, so it can be redistributed, but given the consent of the recipient. Okay, later on we discuss the layer of the faraid recipient. Okay. Okay, so but initially when we die, our wealth should be distributed based on the faraid law. Okay, so in Surah Nisa verse 11, for example, Allah mentions about the rights of children and parents to inherit. Okay, Allah does directs you regards your children's, to the male a portion equals to that of two females. If only daughters, two or more, their share is 2/3 of the inheritance. If only one, her share is a half. For parents, a sixth share, 1/6, sixth share of the inheritance to each. If the deceased left children, if no children, and the parents are the only heirs, the mother has a third, 1/3. If the deceased left brothers or sisters, the mother has a sixth, the distribution in all cases after the payment of all legacies and debt. Okay, so in here Allah have mentioned the portions of distributions of the wealth. Okay, in many cases, like say we have if only daughters, portions equal to that of the two females. Okay, if the male, one male and two female, so 1/2, 1/2 lah for the female. And then at the end of the ayah, this one, before the second last ayah, after the payment of all legacies and debts. So need to pay all of these, the expenses. So after that, we can distribute to the heirs here. Okay, the heirs, the family members that Allah stated here. These are the close family members, the first layer. Huh? And in verse 12, following verse, Allah mentions about the right of the husband and wife, brothers and sisters to inherit. Okay, so in what your wife leave, your share is a half. If they leave no child, okay, if they leave a child, you get fourth, one fourth after payment of the legacy. So everything before the wealth is distributed, so all the legacies or the debts need to be paid first. So their share is their share is a fourth if you leave no child, but if you leave a child, they get an eighth. So after payment of legacies and debt, if the man or woman whose inheritance is in question has left neither ascendants nor descendants, but has left a brother or a sister, so each one of them gets a six if they have siblings. If they have siblings, okay, no children, so it will go to the get one six, but if after pay all the expenses, the debts, okay, so that no loss is caused to anyone, thus it is ordained by Allah. Okay, so next verse 176, Allah mentions about the rule of inheritance to the estate of a deceased person who has left as here neither a descendant nor an ascendant. Okay, so these are all I think the gist how Faraid law distribute the wealth, okay, of the Muslim. Okay, if we have if we want to distribute, prepare, we start to prepare the estate plannings. So basically to make a certain, okay, to ensure everything is in proper way. So I think we need to call or get advice from the person in charge lah, from the one that maybe the third party that have provide a service, okay, to calculate, to prepare to calculate the estate plannings, and also the third party, the company maybe that can help us, okay, how we are going to this. Basically this one um doesn't need for us to calculate first. Basically when we die, they will the thing is we need to list down all the wealth that we have. Okay, we may do assumptions. I think I have uh can you hear the lightning?
Yes, madam.
I'm quite afraid.
Madam, are you presenting the slideshow or not, actually?
Yes.
We haven't seen anything.
Ya Allah, ya Tuhanku.
I'm not sure about others, but I don't see anything.
I don't know. I think I have.
Yeah, mine is showing.
The slide.
Showing
I can see.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you see.
Okay, maybe you need to maybe turn click any button to see.
Yes. Never mind. I try to figure
Just
out.
like okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so maybe I just continue. But if the lightning becomes happen again, then I need to stop, I think. Okay. Okay. Let me just continue. So the hadith, Sa'ad bin Abu Waqqas, okay, the hadith that talk about the faraid distribution is Sa'ad. In the case of Sa'ad bin Abu Waqqas, leaving everything to the charity is not necessarily commendable in Islam. Okay, this one we get a lessons that Rasulullah advised. It is better for you, said the Prophet, to leave your inheritors wealthy than to leave them poor, begging others. And whatever you spend for Allah's sake will be considered a charitable deed, even the handful of food you put in your wife's mouth. Okay, and then Sa'ad bin Abu Waqqas also remind that we cannot just give 100% of our wealth to be for the charity. It is not commendable. It is not encouraged in Islam. We must take care of our family members first. So that is why the law of inheritance comes to protect our progeny lah, our nasab, our keturunan, our family. And then Prophet SAW recorded by At-Tirmizi, human being's feet will not depart from before his Lord on the day of resurrections until he is questioned about five things. This one, his life and his youth and body, his wealth, how did he earn? His wealth, how did he spend? And what did he do in regard to what he knew? Okay, so this is a reminder for us. Example of estate or the property that we have, like we have a house, saving accounts, tabung haji, land, this one KWSP, the employees are saving, takaful, shares, jewelry, ASB or any unit trust. So all of this we need to think about what will happen to all the wealth that we have here when we die. Okay, and then try to start to plan it. So strategies of estate planning, protecting asset, protecting maximize amount to years. Okay, protecting asset, the asset that we have, we must protect lah. Don't simply selling house after we bought it. Okay, don't simply selling house, or we protect, maybe take takaful to cover fire for the buildings. Okay, or any asset lah, we have to protect the asset. We accumulate the asset, and then maximize amounts to 2 years, accumulate also, and then minimize costs, cost related to the asset. Okay, this one I think we need to do during our lifetime lah. Okay, appoint capable executor or trustee for our wealth for estate planning, and appoint trustworthy individual as guardians. This one also we need to have. Okay, once we die, so who are the first one that have power to call all our property, our saving? Who have power? Okay, the guardians, maybe the first abang long, okay, the youngest, the eldest in our family, or our wife become guardians, become trustee. Okay, we can provide that trust letter. Okay, so that our wife can use it to apply for wealth distribution later on. Okay. Okay, procedure of estate planning, ascertain how much assets you own. So list down our asset, how much, maybe asset value of the asset, asset value or market value, or market value lah, current value. And then the second one, determine how you want your estate being distributed. How? Okay, how basically we want to distribute. Okay, faraid law is compulsory, and second one we want to give hibah. Hibah is only allowed 1/3 out of our total wealth, so we want to give hibah to a certain community or certain people, for example our adopted child. And then third one is decide on the means of transferring asset. Means of transferring asset, we want to appoint one company to transfer the asset, or we want to appoint amanah raya, like in Malaysia we have amanah raya, the party that responsible to distribute the asset of the deceased or the deaf person. Okay, step 1, step 2 and step 3. Step 1, asset itemize, meaning that we list down the asset. Okay, determine the ownership portions. If in case we bought a house, okay, using two names, with our wife for example, so two names in the house. So how we are going to distribute that ownership portions? maybe we want to change names to becomes one name, our name only or her name only. Okay, so we need to determine the ownerships of the property. If all our property is over self ownership only our names, so it's okay, no problem. But if we have, like say, we have a company, partnership company, so we need to think how to distribute later on. Just maybe prepare a letter when we die. You want to sell the ownership shares of the company to your business partner, for example. Okay, need to also think about it. And then step 2, list all the beneficiaries. List all the beneficiaries, family members, and then decide. Basically, this one close beneficiary lah, wife, family members, and parents, father and mother. List all beneficiaries, decide proportions of wealth allocations of each party if you want to have it. Okay, but this is not following the Islamic the Islamic tenet. Basically, the proportions of wealth must follow the faraid. That is lacking of awareness. People, Muslims or Muslim lah, just know that they can distribute their wealth based on their preference. No. If we want to decide proportion of wealth allocations, only 1/3 of it, only 1/3 of our total wealth we can decide. Okay, but that distribution is based on hibah. And then way of distributions, we want to distribute when we're still alive, or we want to distribute it when we die, after we die. Okay, some people, they're afraid when they distribute when they're still alive, then maybe their children or their wife will apa nama dia will because he already no longer become the owner of the house. Maybe the house will their wife will put him aside. Okay, and then when alive, direct give. When we are still alive, when we want to distribute, basically it based on the direct give, direct hibah. So we just give, or via trust. And then after death, wasiyah or faraid. Okay. Okay, asset distributions, discharge all obligations. The first one, when we die, we should discharge all obligations, debt, zakat, badal hajj. So any penalties need to be paid first. Need to be paid first, and then funeral expenses, all this one need to be settled first. Then the balance can be considered for will, wasiah, executions, and also the distributions of the remaining estates. Okay, so through will or wasiah, um, basically the will is not for the heirs. Heirs basically will receive a faraid. Okay, the faraid portion. Okay, so the will can be done to not exceed 1/3. Okay. So if we think that we want 100% of our wealth to be distributed based on faraid law, so no need to do a will. Okay. No need to do a will. Okay, we just appoint a trustee to manage our wealth. Let's say the trustee will pay off our debt for zakat and badal hajj, okay, and then the amanah raya for wealth distribution based on faraid. Okay, faraid law lah.
So does that mean that
Yes.
wasiat and also hibah is 1/3, 1/3? So 2/3 is basically on wasiat and hibah lah, if there is any.
Ya. Kalau ada hibah tu is stated in the wasiah.
Oh,
Hibah
okay.
is stated in the
It's
wasiah lah.
wasiat. Okay, alright.
Because wasiah is just one letter. statement that we want to distribute our wealth to any unrelated parties lah, like say not a family members, the third party. So it must be same, not wanted, not exceed wanted. Okay. If faraid, no harm. No need to just put okay 1/3 follow faraid law, we calculate, no need. So the authority amanah raya will do it for us. Yeah.
Okay, madam.
Yes.
Yeah. In the same line with the distribution of like asset distribution. Let's say, for instance, like you have a family and then the head of family died, like father, and you did not pay the zakat. Like the zakat due should be next month, and he died. And after a while, and his children or family already distribute like share the rest of his legacy. And after knowing that the father did not pay zakat, what they will do? So they will bring also the what they receive from from the heritage things to take the zakat amount, because you said you have to discharge all the.
Yeah.
What would be?
So that is why we need to have, or we need to appoint the authority to calculate, manage a trustee, trustee to manage. If we appoint trustee among our sibling that he do not know how to distribute it, the trustee is entrusted to call the authority to calculate everything. So the authority will do a proper process to calculate everything.
Hello, I cannot hear you, madam.
The wealth for zakat lah, to be safe lah, okay, for the deceased. So after that, it is a net wealth, so it will proceed to the faraid. But in case the zakat is not paid, and then the family members just know that the deceased have portions of zakat that didn't pay yet, so they are responsible to pay using the wealth, the money that they have lah. Maybe they can share the portions of zakat amount among them, because they are already received the portions of the wealth, isn't it? Okay, when they realize that, then they should pay, because zakat is compulsory. If not, the deceased will be in trouble. Okay.
Okay, madam.
Okay, brother.
Yes. Okay.
So this one is a serious matter. If we uncertain on what to do, that is why we need to appoint the third party that can advise us what we should do. Okay, what we should do. This is a very important. And then lifetime distributions, hibah and a gift. So hibah is immediate transfer to the recipient. And also hibah can be delayed transfer after the death using apa? Using wasiah. Wasiah. It is hibah, conditional hibah. After we die, then hibah will be executed. When we still alive, so we ourselves can transfer the hibah, the wealth, to the recipient. Okay, so gift is direct to the donee, and then give and endow to the trust or foundations. This one same lah basically. Just this one hibah, conditional hibah. It only will be executed after we die. Then we should have the trust people, the trustee, to execute this hibah. So in takaful, basically they adopt conditional hibah. After we die, then the death benefits will be given to the family members, the heirs. Okay, but the heirs should be named in the takaful certificate as the nomination form tu. The participant should write name of hibah recipients, okay, for the takaful. If their name is not there, if their no names is nominated in the hibah distributions in takaful, so takaful operator will proceed the death benefits to the authority, which in Malaysia Amanah Raya. So then Amanah Raya will distribute based on faraid, based on the faraid law. Okay. But usually the takaful participant is advised to give names or few names of the hibah recipient, and then portions of the hibah lah from the death benefit. Okay. So after death distributions of asset, first one, after death, should be counted for the marriage community property, harta sepencarian, before it give to the is have right to receive, okay, to receive it, because they both of them are basically the ownership have right to this wealth, okay, harta sepencarian. So after that we will go to the wasiah, okay, gifting of asset to non-faraid heirs limited to 1/3 of the estates. Okay, so wasiah is basically hibah distribution to the non-faraid heirs. If the faraid recipients is stated among the recipients of hibah here, so it is not valid, okay, because their name is already under faraid law. This is their right, not in this part, okay. So 1/3 of the estate. And then finally, balance of the estates or the wealth, it will be distributed according to the faraid law. Okay, so this one distribution according to the deed of family arrangement. After the recipient of the faraid law receive the asset, after this, if they agree to distribute it equally, so all of them here need to relinquish their right of faraid. So after that, they have to sign a letter to relinquish their faraid right. Okay, so after that, they can distribute equally. They have to receive based on the faraid law. After that, because after they receive their wealth, the wealth is already belong to them. That is why they are given the right to redistribute it based on their preference, provided that all of them agree. All of them agree. Because the calculation here is the total amount, not a portion distribution. Okay, all of them need to agree to relinquish their faraid right. Okay, so that they can distribute lah based on portions. Okay. Usually this part having issue among the family members. Some of them agree, some of them do not agree, so that they cannot redistribute the wealth. Okay, it's voting case here. Okay, clear? Okay, deed of family arrangement, need-based justice distributions, memorandum of wishes, wasiah, pesanan. Okay, so the family wealth distribution master plan before and after death. So if we want to have distributions of wealth, family distributions of wealth, we need to prepare a master plan. Need to prepare it before and after death. Okay, so may include wealth preservations asset for transfer to family wealth holdings companies must be consented by all beneficiaries. This one important before and after death, right under the Faraid law. So so before the father die, they already agree. Okay, so right under the Faraid waive. So if endorsed through a court order under a testamentary document, no stamp duty is applicable. Yes, all of us, the wealth is distributed. If in the first place, the wealth is distributed, we receive a letter from the court stating that the amount of wealth is distributed based on Faraid law. And then we apply to redistribute it based on equal distributions, okay, equal distributions, and all the beneficiaries or all the recipients need to sign, need to attend, okay, need to give apa nama dia, in front of the in the court, and then after that it will be executed. Okay. So yes, we can distribute the wealth equally, but the first procedure is the wealth must be distributed based on Faraid law. That is compulsory by Islam. Okay, because Allah already stated it. Okay, but it is advised just follow the Faraid law. But because maybe to be so based on all consent, all consent. Even one do not consent, so it cannot be done. Okay, tools of Sharia estate planning, will, hibah and faraid. Okay, will is wasiyah lah. So what is will? A document where a person state his intentions as to how his estate is to be administered, distributed after his death, and who is to administer it. Will is recommended by the Jumhur ulama. Okay, so we can write a will, list down all our assets, and then we can appoint a trustee who we entrusted to manage or to distribute our wealth later on after we die. Okay, just write a letter. In a proper way, make it stamp. And then okay, neither a contract or no agreement. It is not agreement, it is not a contract. Only take effect upon death of the principal. Okay, it is amanah. Surat amanah is a letter of trust. So for the Muslim, he or she can only distribute 1/3 of the estate through will, and another 2/3 should be distributed through faraid. This is for the Muslim. If we want to give charity, so in the will also need to be right. Okay, we cannot just put any portions and stated in the will. So that is why we must take advice from the experts, and then from the body lah that usually manage this matter. Okay, the pillars of the will: the testator, al-musi, the one that give the will; the beneficiary who receive the bequeath property. The property, is it a house, is it a money, and the silver. That I give this one hibah, and then I entrusted who become a trustee to manage my wealth. Okay, I give you example of will later on. So the validity of wills, the age must be more than 18 years old, in will, free will without questions, and then sound mind. Okay, sometimes the questions forced by someone to make a will. Okay, and then it is unsound mind. So these three criteria must be fulfilled. So this is example of will. Okay, example of will, for example, identification. This is the last will and testament of me. Name, your name in the state of apa in Malaysia, revocation. I revoke all the previous will. Sometimes people make will many times. So that is why need to have the statement of will to revoke the previous will. Okay, they change their mind. They make a new will. And then executor appointment, appoint the executor of the will. It is a must. I appoint who? The state of any who? So two I think to be the executors of one pun okay lah. The executor of this will and trustee of my estate. If he, she, the president may predecease me or die before me, or are unable or unwilling to fulfill this role, then I appoint the replacer. Okay, appoint who become a trustee as executor and trustee of my estate. This one the first stage lah. Okay, so next stage then you state lah what is your will. Okay, how much you want to distribute for the charity. Okay. Okay, then faraid. Faraid is a science dealing with the law pertaining to the devotional acts based on the Sharia in respect of the wealth of a person after the certainty of his or her death certainty. So deal with distributions of the estates of a deceased person among his heirs in accordance with Allah, decree in the Holy Quran and according to the Hadith. Okay, so faraid is it is mentioned in the Quran. So it is not option. It is directions of our God. What we should do. Okay, for the wealth that He gave to us. Okay. So types of estate involve land, buildings, the one that we have discussed, and then causes of inheritance. Okay, because the faraid is related to law of inheritance with family members because of marriage relationship, because of nasab, our children's blood relationships, and also we have other types of relationship, wala. Maybe we have cousins, okay, other types. Okay, the recipient, the beneficiary of the faraid distributions of wealth, we have layers of the beneficiary. Okay, so the first layer we call primary heirs, husband and wife, father, mother, son and daughter. This is the closest family that we have, isn't it? This is the closest lah. And then the second one, if we do not have any of this, we are alone. So the substitute here will come. Grandfather, grandmother, son, okay, son's daughter, son. Okay, and then after that, if we do not, our grandmother, grandfather were no longer in this world, die, and then we do not have this, and the secondary heirs have right to apply for the faraid distribution. Full siblings, we have siblings. Uterine siblings. Okay, uterine sibling is like if our father married with married with other women after our mothers die, for example. Okay, so that's our new siblings. Okay, from different mother. Consanguine sibling. Consanguine sibling ni pun macam tu juga. I'm not sure about this one. Apa tadi saya baca? The siblings that we have a blood relationship like a cousins, okay, but later on need to be sure lah with this. can ask the expert. Yeah? And then after that, if until this stage we do not have anybody to distribute, so it's tertiary health, not so close with us, full uncle, consequent uncle. Okay, these two have a blood relationship lah, our uncle kan. Okay, and then after that, if none of this we are alone in this world. So Baitul Mal, Baitul Mal is the authority under Islamic Religious Council that manage the wealth of Muslim. So they have right to claim. Then we just give our wealth to them. So it becomes, and here if there is no male legal, here's it becomes a residue here if there is residual property but no residuary here's the balance of the residue the balance of the wealth so becomes and here if there is no male legal heirs if nobody we have nobody in this world, so Baitul Mal will receive all asset if there is no legal heirs. They will receive the balance of asset. Let's say we want to give 1/3 of our asset for the donations, so the balance 2/3 of the wealth, then it will be forward to Baitul Mal. Okay, the balance lah, residue ni balance Okay, so these are the stages for the recipients of the faraid distribution. Okay, this one I just want to share lah. It is in Malay basically. So in summary, how to distribute wealth based on the faraid law. Okay, right and claims against the estate of a deceased Muslim are as follow. Ranking. Settlement of the deceased burial in moderation, payment of debts. I think we have discussed this. Payment of debts which should include zakat, uncompleted hajj, nazar. This one all about the pillars of Islam. Islamic pillars. Because Islamic pillars is compulsory obligations for the Muslim. Okay, we want to die by performing, achieving all the pillars as a Muslim. Right? So when we die, before we complete few of these pillars, so the family members responsible to perform it on our behalf so that it will save us. Yeah. And then payment of debt which shall include zakat. Sama je. Okay, never mind. Okay, C, claims against the estate. Claim against the estate to be settled by administrator or heirs of the estate, the hibah, uncompleted, and the wasiyah have also included the matrimonial property rights, hartas pencarian. Okay, this one I think we have discussed previously. Okay, related issue. Related issue with this. With the issue, I just read the issue. So the 49 discourse of the Fatwa Committee of the National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs in Malaysia held in 2000 has discussed about EPF, Employee Provident Fund, EPF money. So and alike for dead Muslim members, the committee has decided that EPF money and savings are considered as inheritance that must be divided according to the faraid. Okay, so EPF money is also the estate that left. So it must be divided or distribute based on the faraid law for the Muslim. So EPF nominee is the administrator of the property, the trustee. When we fill up the EPF form, the employee provident fund form, we have to name one trustee that become nominee. When we die, the EPF money will be given to them, so they are entrusted to distribute based on the faraid law. So the nominee should divide the EPF money according to the faraid. Okay. So because of why it is issue, maybe some someone want to give EPF money in terms of hibah, they want to give to their preference people in terms of hibah. So it is decided by the fatwa committee that these are the wealth left by the deceased, and it should be distributed based on faraid, because it is right to the family members to receive the wealth. Okay. Okay, case study. I left you with case study. Hassan died leaving behind his wife, 2 daughters and 2 sons. But before he died, he drew up a will for his asset to be divided equally among the 5. So would Hassan's last wishes be accepted, or would the faraid system override it? Okay, please answer. Okay, please think and answer. Give me the answer in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Okay, with that, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My throat is dry. Okay, any question?
Can faraid be disputed, madam?
Apa?
Can faraid be disputed? The ratio, I mean. Because I know it's prefix. Like let's say like son, daughter apa semua, dia ada their own ratios, right? But can be disputed in the court of law?
It can be redistributed based on the will, okay, but after get a consent from all the faraid recipient. Oh, this one you ask the answer, ya? You ask the answer for the case study.
Tanya kalau this the ratios tu, whether it can be disputed in the court. Let's say kan 1/3, one to daughter ke apa kan. But let's say one of the brother does not agree with that ratio. He wants more ke apa ke. Can it be disputed? Cannot kan?
Cannot. The ratio is fixed for the faraid.
Alright.
Okay, if they would like to adjust the ratio, all the beneficiary of the faraid need to give their consent. Need to relinquish their right of the faraid, and then they recalculated or readjust the ratio.
But the readjustment ratio, how does it count? Can it be agreed upon all the participants?
Should.
Okay.
All the recipient must agree.
So it does not follow the common faraid law lah in that case.
No. But first they have to relinquish their right first.
Okay.
But what I advise is we follow Allah's directions. There must be a reason behind that. Okay, we follow Allah's directions. Then we will be rewarded. It is directions. Why we want to change it? Why you want to change it? To allow, basically to allow to redistribute the portion is basically the our law, the human law, the one that allow the distributions. Okay, Allah do not mention any allowance, permissions to readjust the portions of distributions. No, because Allah already stated the proportions of the distributions. So he he didn't mention anything about readjustments of the portions. Just follow the faraid. That's the best. That's the best. Okay, but maybe because of certain reasons, certain maslahah, maybe the siblings, the men siblings, brother siblings richer than the woman, so the women are in need of money. So that is why I think the Muslim scholars allow and discuss this matter and allow for them to but first to relinquish their right and to readjust the portions of distribution because of that reason. Okay. Any other question? No question. So so because of this is our last class, okay, I hope that you you enjoy my class and you get the understandings of all the topics that we have discussed related to Islamic financial planning. If you have further questions, then you may ask me directly using WhatsApp in the group or direct person WhatsApp. Okay. Don't forget to submit your individual assignment. When is the due?
Next week, madam.
Next week, yeah?
27.
Ah. Next week, date
27.
27.
27. Okay, good. Good. At least you remember the deadline. Make sure you submit before the deadline, yeah? Not on the deadline.
So, madam, it will be through the Google Classroom,
Yes,
right?
I will prepare a place for it, for your submission.
Okay.
Just attach your report, your copy.
Uh, Madam, pertaining to the exams, how will be the format? How many questions will be from your part?
From my part, I think 20%, I will give 2 questions. 20% only. Kan? Yelah. 20% from my part. So 2 questions. 10. 2 questions essay lah. 2 essay question.
Okay, madam.
Maybe details on the format, on the types of questions, then I will share later because I'm not prepared the exam question yet. Okay, I will inform later in the WhatsApp group or in the Google Classroom. We still need to keep in touch lah. Okay, still, if you want if you want me to explain any issue that you have, okay, any questions to ask, then you should ask lah. Okay, so anything just inform me. Okay.
Okay, madam.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Okay, welcome. So we end our class today with Surah Al-As and Tasbih Kifarah. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All the best and take care.
Salam.
Salam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Madam.
Welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Madam?
Salam. Welcome.
Okay.